Nice. Okay, so let's change the orientation of this motor here. So let's drop down a touch. Let's zoom into this motor here. We're going to right click on this bad boy, go to configuration, and we're going to change it from digital to digital plus and minus. So we'll be able to go back and forth. Beautiful. Let's zoom back out. And then if we hit, so if nothing's there, you can go to view and dock all your tags now. And it looks like we've got positive and negative now. And let's release there's a force on there. I want my emitter and my remover forced, but I don't want any other forces. If I go back to control IO, I've moved this back to my power source. So now if I hit play and go to here, if I press this guy, then it goes in the positive direction. But I also want to go in the negative direction. So I'm going to bring this bad boy up here. Let's move the sensor out of the way. And can we duplicate this guy? No. Okay, so let's do another Boolean source here. Let's connect this guy up. Beautiful. Okay, so let me see if I can orientate everything so we can see everything. Good. Let's bring control IO in. Beautiful. Okay, so now we've got positive and negative here. So if I hit the negative, then everything goes in the opposite direction. And if I hit positive, then I can change the direction of my conveyor now. Okay, so you do have conveyors where you can control your direction. You just have to change the orientation of the motor there, or configuration of the motor. Okay, again, the sensor still works the same in that it's not true and then goes back to true there. Beautiful. Okay, let's look at the analog component on the motor now. So let's reset our animation. Let's go down to here, right click on this guy, zoom in, right click on it, come on, oh I need to hit stop, right click, and let's go to analog. Okay, so analog is now, if we go to view and dock all our tags, because the positive and negative now just disappeared. And now it looks like we've got a 0 to 10 volt signal in one direction and the opposite direction. So let's go back out. Again, let's orientate everything so we can have our control IO here. So control IO is here, and we're not just going to turn this on. So let's delete this and this. Come on. Beautiful. Okay, so we want our roller conveyor. We want positive and negative. And then we need to control that guy with, can we do a numerical? Ah, very cool. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to change the properties here. So I'm right clicking on this guy and we're going to change this to a 0 to 10 volt signal. And then in terms of properties, okay, so I can do negative 10. Is that correct? Is that right? Negative 10. 0, and then positive 10. Okay, so one's going to give a signal in the positive direction and one's going to give a signal in the negative direction there. Okay, let's see if this works, guys. So let's hit play. Let's unpause the unit here. Okay, now she's flying. Okay, so let's bring in control IO. I got a number of things, so I need to get rid of, because I have duplicate controls here, right? So I'm going to bring this to 0. Okay, it looks good. And this control is at 0. So let's see what happens when we move this wiper right here. So we're going to go positive direction. Okay, so we can get the conveyor moving quite fast with 10 volts. This is, fairly, that's basic, speed that we saw before at 5 volts. And at 0 volts, everything will be stopped. And once we go in the negative direction, then obviously the boxes are moving backwards. 5 volts, they move quite slowly. And then 10 volts, they're rocking back out of the way. So any box that now comes in here is going to be thrown right off the conveyor. Okay, so let's go back to 0 volts. We're waiting. We changed the timing of pallets coming through. So let's bring that back. So let's go max time. Let's bring this to 3. Hit play again. Nice. And then obviously going in this direction, then we can control in the positive or forward direction, and we can modulate our speed. Beautiful. Okay, let's release that force there, and let's go to Control IO now. And now in the positive direction, then you can control your speed of your conveyor. Again, all the way up to 10 volts there. And we can see our sensor being tripped on and off here. Beautiful. And if I slow this bad boy down and bring it to 0, obviously everything stops. In this application, we wouldn't want it going in the opposite direction, but you can have the boxes go in the opposite direction. And by changing your negative 0 to 10 volts to the conveyor, you can control the speed at which those boxes are going through. Beautiful. Okay, last thing to show would be the encoder, guys. So let's stop our animation here. Let's look at our motor one more time. Let's keep it there with the analog so we can control our speed. And now we're going to use an encoder. So as soon as I have an encoder, then you can see that this unit is connected into my power box here. So as the motor spins, it's going to allow an LED to flash on and off. And then the frequency at which that LED flashes is going to tell us our speed. We're going to have, let's go to view and dock our tags again. Okay, so for this one, we're going to have two signals and they're going to be offset, right? So there's going to be a phase shift between those two signals, and that's going to tell us our direction. So the frequency at which those lights are flashing tells us our speed, and then which one comes first determines our direction that the conveyor is actually moving. Okay, if you want more information on the incremental encoder, then go back to the manual, go to sensors. So you're in the manual, you're in sensors, go down to the bottom here, and you go to incremental encoder, and it tells you everything about it. Several parts include an incremental encoder, which you can enable by right-clicking on the part and choosing Use Encoder, which we did on the context menu. This encoder uses 2 bits, A and B, to produce 2 waveforms, which are 90 degrees out of phase. The encoder frequency is 0.0225 meters, which is based on a velocity of 0.45 meters per second at 20 hertz, roller conveyor default velocity. So that's your base speed that we saw. We were just digital on and off. The frequency of 20 hertz has been chosen since it's easily supported by most of the I/O drivers. Okay, components that can make use of an encoder would be the loading conveyor, roller conveyor, curved roller conveyor, belt conveyor, curved belt conveyor, inclined belt conveyor. Examples of rotation pulses of the roller conveyor in digital configuration. Phase 1 would be off. Phase 2 would be 0 for A, 1 for B. 3 is both of them on. And then 4 is high for A and low for B. We'll have to go through another video on how to make use of an encoder later on in more advanced programming. Okay, let's go back to our scene though, guys. And we've got our encoder signal now. And so we're going to hit play. And we're going to turn on our conveyor. And you can see that if it's going slowly, then the frequency of those lights flashing is going to be slow as well. As soon as we increase the speed of the conveyor, then obviously the frequency increases as well. And it's basically impossible to see which one is going first there, but there will be one that's phase shifted by 90 degrees and leading the other signal, so that when we go to 0 and then have the conveyor going in the opposite direction, then one of those inputs went high first. Okay, and again, we can increase the speed and then obviously see the output on the encoder increases as well. Okay, I love the physics on Factorio. You can just grab these guys and throw them out of the way. Let's bring in our last component here, Control IO. And so we can control the speed of our conveyor. So right now, that's interesting. I can have my Control IO maxed out at 10, but the conveyor is going super slow here. And obviously that's because I have this guy forced. So let's release this. And now my Control IO is now controlling the speed of the conveyor. So when we're moving slowly, the frequency of the encoder signals is going slowly. And as we increase the output to the conveyor, then obviously the frequency of the encoder signals is increasing as well. Okay, and we could bring those guys in and we could see the frequency on each of these guys. But again, very hard to tell which one is going high and which one's going low when we start this bad boy up. All right, guys, I think that's good enough for this video. We've introduced all of the conveyors. We've shown how to go digital, positive, negative, and now analog, right? And it looks like all of the analog signals are 0 to 10 volt. And we've also shown how to make use of an encoder. We haven't shown how to use that in our programming yet, but that'll be in more advanced programming much later. Okay, perfect. Let's stop here, guys, and I will see you guys on the next video.